There's a lady about 85 years old, sat by the fireside with her little cat just touching the fire, and out of the fire jumps a spark, and it was a fairy. And the fairy said, "I am your fairy godmother. I brought you 3 wishes. What would you like?" "Well," she said, "I'm surprised. Well, I wish I was a young girl again." And the fairy went, "Bing!" And she became a gorgeous young girl, about 21 years old. She said, "You still have 2 wishes left. What would you like?" "Well," she said, "I wish I had plenty of money." And the fairy went, "Bing!" And the place was full of money everywhere, couldn't move. She said, "You still have 1 wish left. What would you like?" "Well," she said, "My cat's been with me a long time. I wish my cat was a big, handsome, strapping prince." And the fairy went, "Bing!" And the cat became a big, handsome, strapping prince who took hold of this young girl's in his arms, bent her backwards and said, "I bet you wish you'd never taken me to the vet."
But last time I was in Penryn, I was giving the girl a portion up against the spar shop. Nice to see you again, dear. But every time I went like that, her toes went like that. I said, "When I do that, why your toes keep coming up?" She said, "You haven't taken me tights off."
Oh, the 2 little boys who were talking, and one said, "I've got to go to hospital tomorrow." I said, "I've got to be circumcised. I'm frightened that it's going to hurt me." And the first little boy said, "Oh," he said, "circumcised?" He said, "Yes." He said, "I'm frightened it's going to hurt." He said, "Oh," he said, "I had that done when I was a baby." He said, "Did it hurt?" He said, "Hurt? I couldn't walk for 17 months.
He was on the train. And there was a husband and wife sitting across, and Denzel was looking at her tits. But when he went out for a piddle, the husband came out. He said, "Would you mind not looking at my wife's breasts? You're embarrassing her." Well, Denzel said, "They're the best pair of tits I've seen." And he said, "I'd give £500 to stick me nose in between them." He said, £500? He said, "We're a bit short of cash." He said, "I'll have a word." When he went back and saw his wife, he said he's prepared to pay £500 to stick his nose in between your tits. She said, "Well, we need the money." Well, they agreed to it. Well, Denzel got back and took her tits out. Christ, he said, "If only I had £500.